Hello, this is the fourth week of Advent. The 4 candles are lit. We are reading the final chapter of Ishtar's Odyssey, and we are on Part 4. Soon the whole camp was awake and chattering as Nathan, Salamar, and Ishtar's 2 uncles consulted. Finally, Salamar turned and addressed the whole camp. "We have decided that the caravan shall remain here," he said loudly enough to be heard, but not so loud his voice would carry beyond the edges of their camp. "If the entire caravan leaves, Herod will be alerted and send spies. My brothers and I and a few dozen men will follow the star when it appears," he said. "We shall take only a few tents and enough food for a day. Nathan, my son, and the boy Bartholomew will accompany us." Bartholomew and Ishtar looked at each other and grinned. "I believe I know where the star will lead you, my friend," Nathan said to Salamar. "If you like, we could start in that direction." Salamar thought for a moment. "No, we will wait for the star. Perhaps you do know where this Messiah will be born, but we must find him in our own way." Nathan smiled and nodded, understanding. Suddenly someone shouted, and everyone looked to the sky. "The star!" Ishtar gasped. Quickly, a few tents were taken down and packed onto camels, along with other provisions, and then the small band started out, following the star up the Kidron Valley and toward the south. "Jotham said that the Messiah is coming for all people, not just you Jews," Ishtar said as he walked beside Bartholomew. "It is as Nathan has told us," Bartholomew answered. Ishtar looked at Nathan, who walked ahead of them. Nathan was rubbing his stomach as if in pain. "I believe I would like having only one God," he said as he watched Nathan. "Perhaps he would answer more prayers than all our other gods do." As all the excitement of seeing the angel and the hasty departure passed, Ishtar began to feel sleepy. His head kept nodding as he walked, and he felt as if a soft pillow was stuffed inside his skull. Bartholomew, too, kept stumbling beside him, and Ishtar wished he'd brought Musa along to ride. But then the line came to a sudden stop, and the boys were instantly awake again. They ran to the front of the little caravan and found Salamar and the other men staring into the sky. "What is it, father?" Ishtar asked. "The star," the older man answered. "It has disappeared again." Both boys searched the sky, but the special star was nowhere to be seen. Then someone yelled, "Look!" and all eyes turned to a little hill across a valley to their right. There in the dark sat a small village covering the top of the hill like snow on a mountain. "Bethlehem," Nathan said. "A quiet town," Salamar commented. Then with a sigh he said, "We shall camp here alongside the road until the star again appears." "I believe the star was leading you to that town," Nathan said to his friend. "Yes," Ishtar added. "Remember the scroll." Salamar just shrugged. "Perhaps, but until it guides us directly into the village or wherever it is taking us, we shall camp here." A short time later, Kazim had pitched Ishtar's tent. Half the men were already asleep on the ground. The other half stood guard. Ishtar looked around to find Nathan and Bartholomew, and finally saw them at the edge of the road, looking down at the valley below and across it to Bethlehem. He couldn't hear their words, but it looked like Bartholomew was upset and trying to convince Nathan of something. Finally, they came back over to Salamar, so Ishtar joined them. "Salamar, my friend," Nathan said with a smile, "I believe I shall send Bartholomew into Bethlehem to fetch me some fresh dates. May I send your son with him?" "Dates at this time of night?" Salamar said. "For the peace of my inner workings," Nathan said. "My body is objecting to the trek my soul has taken it on." With a wave of his hand, Salamor said, "Oh, that! We have some fine potions that will ease your pain. Some crushed water lily, perhaps, or roasted locusts." Nathan shook his head. "No, no," he said, "those things are strangers to my body. I must have some fresh dates." Salamar sighed. "Very well. My son may accompany your charge." "Thank you, my friend," Nathan replied. Then he turned to Bartholomew and handed him some money, saying, "Be sure to hurry back if you find that which you seek." Ishtar had a feeling there was a double meaning to his words. Think about this. If God is protecting Salamar and the caravan, why would they have to worry about Herod